Hi there. My name is John Tolliver, and I attended the Mayo Clinic Smoking Cessation Program back in January 2008. To be honest with you, I didn't really know what to expect when I got there. I mean, I'd done my research and looked around, and it seemed like the best program out there. But I know when I left, I really didn't want to stop smoking. I knew it was bad for me. I knew about the health risks. I knew everything about that. But I still didn't have the desire to stop smoking. I tried and tried up till a few days before I left to try to find excuses on reasons I couldn't go. But I ultimately made the journey out to Rochester, Minnesota in January. I can't say enough about the program. I mean, the first 2 days for me were the hardest part of the program. It wasn't a physical problem. It was more of a habitual problem. Where the physical problem, the Mayo knows how to deal with between Chantix and Zyban and patches and lozenges and everything else. They know how to deal with the discomfort portion of it. But the psychological part, after 30+ years of getting up in the morning and having a cigarette, getting into the car and having a cigarette, with every meal running off having a cigarette, that was the hard part for me. And I remember after the first 48 hours thinking to myself, man, this is amazing. I haven't had a cigarette for 2 days. I mean, that was the most I'd ever done in my life. It's a lot different than what I expected, where I expected them more to kind of like preach to you and show you a picture of a guy in an iron lung and show you a picture of a lung that's been damaged by cigarettes. And it was a lot deeper than that. I mean, they treated you with a great deal of respect. They tried to teach you how not to smoke rather than the perils of smoking. They didn't preach to you. They put out the facts, and if you want to take them, you can. I mean, there was nobody there. They didn't lock the door at night. You could have walked out any time. And that kind of surprised me, because I thought that's what I needed. And I was pretty amazed because we had a group of about 8 or 9 people, and after 8 or 9 people spend 8 days together, you become pretty close. And it was funny because so many of us didn't want to smoke, but we didn't want to give it up either. And through the program, the Mayo taught me what to do when I got home. What to do that first pulse in the morning when I want a cigarette. What do I do before I go to bed and I really want a cigarette? I mean, that was the important thing. It wasn't so much the Zyban and the patches and all that kind of thing. They were nice tools, but knowing when to use them was the critical part, and how to use them and why to use them. And I guess that's what was so important with the Mayo's program. I mean, it was nothing like I had ever experienced in my life. I mean, these were people that were genuinely concerned with my well-being. These were strangers that were genuinely concerned with my well-being. And to this day, I mean, after you leave the Mayo, the follow-up just continues. I mean, both the staff and even fellow patients. We had stayed in email contact now for over 3 years. And I mean, you can't beat that. I couldn't have done it without them. It's the best program out there, and I'm really grateful for everything they did for me. And I wish anybody the best of luck in giving it a try, because it's a hard thing to do, but it's a very rewarding thing to do. I mean, nowadays when I get on a plane, I don't have to be jonesing for a cigarette. Or when I get up in the morning, it's not my first priority to be running for a cigarette. And that's very freeing. And I encourage everybody to give it a try. Thank you.